Alright, what's up YouTube? We are back at it again with another video. As you can see by my breath here, it is very cold today. It's like negative 20-ish with the wind chill. But if you see my last video, it doesn't bother me. I got stuff I want to do to the truck and I'm not going to wait for it to warm up. So we improvise. So I finally, I moved the lawnmower and stuff, finally got the truck to be able to actually fit in the garage with the door shut. And I got 1 and 2 heaters. This one has a double head, so we're just heating up the garage here. We're going to be installing RGB rock lights. So what we have here is the 4 rubber mounting brackets. There's a flat one, and then there's one that like kind of indents and curves in depending on how your wheel well is. And then obviously you have the rock lights themselves. So here is the Bluetooth controller. I'm going to put in, it doesn't come with it, but I'm going to put in an inline fuse as well, just in case it'll blow that fuse, not one of my main ones. And then I will need some extra red and black wires because that's obviously not enough. And so yeah, a nice thing about the Bluetooth is I won't need like a toggle switch or anything. I can obviously just power them on and off with my phone. So we'll just need a little bit of extra red and black wire to connect to the battery and then obviously run the inline fuse. So first things first is we need to find where to safely mount the Bluetooth controller. And what is nice about all this is it has all of these quick disconnects where you can just screw them on and off, so you're not trying to, so when I'm trying to mount this, I can just disconnect it right here and I'm not messing with, you know, I don't even know how many X amount of feet of wire. Alright guys, so first issue I'm already running into is the length of wire. So what I was thinking was there's a nice flat piece of the frame down there I was going to mount to here, but then this wire would have to go all the way across. So if it were, what I was thinking was running it along the back of the engine bay. And if I do that, basically it'd even be a little shorter than this because it would be tucked up tight back there. It's not even going to reach my right side. So what I'm thinking is going to have to happen is, instead of this being the front and it being convenient, I think it's going to have to be mounted somewhere in the rear, the control box, and then these lights will have to be my rear wheel well lights. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I will update you guys. Okay, just an update for you guys while my camera, or my drill charges because it's dead. I did take out all the screws around the wheel well of my wheel liner. There's one here and one there on these Ram wheel liners. They're all 8mm, and I just pried down a little bit just to get the top visible. That's honestly all I want. I don't want to take this whole thing out and dick with that, so I'm just going to pop the screws, or when I mark it, and drill through. Now I'll be able to get my hand in there and bolt down the nuts and bolts that come with the hardware. Alright guys, so the back is completely done. Got it all back in, rock lights in, and then I have the cord here that's going to run up to the front, and as predicted, it's pulling back a little, but it's making it to about halfway up my front door, which makes me not very happy whatsoever, because now I have to do one of two things. I can cut the end off, go buy wire. Well, I guess I could just use, I have a bunch of red and black. Obviously the color doesn't matter, that's just for color coding purposes. I could cut the end off. I don't even know how many, it's RGBs, so I'm assuming there's just a red, green, and blue wire that's inside that casing. So then I could basically solder it, connect it long enough to connect to the front here, and then I would just solder on the plug piece, so then it would plug in nicely. So that's my option, or I can tuck that up in there and zip tie it off, go online, order some 6-point extensions, and go from there. So what I'm doing now is running the positive and the negative from the Bluetooth controller, which is mounted under the truck, which I will show you in just a second. So how I'm running that is exactly the same way that I ran the rock lights through this way. I'm just running them through this way, and then I will have it all rolled out going to the battery. So let me show you here. So if you can see, right here is where I ran the rock lights from. So I'm just taking this stick here, pushing it through, slide under here, and so now got the stick here, pull it all the way through, and I have my red and green, or my red and black, that I will attach to that right there, as you can see. So that's a super easy way to feed wires through, in case anybody is having troubles with that. So I'm going to go ahead, tie in this positive and negative wire, so that'll be done, and then I won't have to come back underneath the truck. So here is the controller before I forget, so it's just attached to the actual truck. I just used self-tapping screws and just put one there and one there, real solid, not going anywhere. So then once this is all tied in, I will run this rock light to the other rear. We'll go from there. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Update to the whole cord not reaching situation is I got in touch with the company, and I have their new RGBW rock lights. Their old rock lights were just RGBs, and they were 4-pin, and these are 6-pin. And like I said, I got in touch with the company last night, expressed my concerns, and told them I can't find any anywhere, not even on your website. And they're like, oh, the RGBW extensions don't come out for another month. Why do you release a company, or why do you release a product when you don't have extensions for it already? Like, this is just like, I just have a crew cab truck here. It's nothing special, not a long bed, anything like that. So literally anybody who has a crew cab, possibly even an extended cab truck, basically anything besides a Jeep, this is going to be too short. Literally not going to work for you. So if you are interested, I recommend not buying this product, at least for another month from when this video comes out, because there's no extensions unless you want to do what I have to currently do and put in 6 new wires to run all the way to the front, and I will have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So next thing I need to do is connect the positive, you can see it, the positive and the negative wire to the battery, because I'm going to need that spool of red and black wire. I am not going to buy 6 separate color wires to match the color wires that are inside there. That's just a waste of money. Obviously the color does not contribute to anything besides just identification. So I will just make sure I know which one is which. I'll mark it with tape and a marker or something. I don't know, I'll figure it out. So what I'm doing now is I have, there's the positive and negative. I connected to the controller. Now I have it running down. Going to give me enough to connect to the battery, so I can get, like I said, so I can get that free. I can't really set the camera up and leave it running because it is so cold. The battery is dying so quickly, so I'm just kind of updating you guys step by step. Alright guys, so I have the positive connected to the battery here, and then I just have the negative grounded off to a ground that was already there on the truck. Inline fuse is zip tied. I just have it running behind the wheel well. Alright guys, so my camera died, but I just wanted to say that the rear one was working. I was going to show you, but it died. So while my camera was charging, I started moving on. So this is basically what I'm having to do. So I had to strip the wire, and then I have these butt connectors that I'm connecting to each single freaking wire, and I will connect obviously the new wire to the opposite end, and this is heat shrink butt connector, so it'll be watertight. And this is what I have to do because it doesn't reach and they don't sell extensions, and no one else sells 6-pin extensions either. So yeah guys, this is what I'll be working on for the next little while. Gonna let my camera charge and I will update you guys. Alright guys, so here's the update. It's all wired up, got it all connected, and then I did plug it in just to make sure that I got all the wiring right, and I did. Front works, rear works. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the store and get some of that flexible tubing just to hide some of the wires, and then I'm gonna wrap some electrical tape around the ends just to be sure it's watertight, considering it's gonna be under the truck. Am I happy with this? Absolutely not. I will probably be either buying bigger extensions at some point or going with different company rock lights all entirely to make something. I mean, honestly, to make rock lights that obviously people are putting on their trucks, not just like a short wheelbase like a Jeep, and to be that short on footage. I mean, look how much of my own I'm using here to make up for the difference. That's easily at least 5 feet. So you're coming out 5 feet short on a truck. Honestly, that's unexcusable in my book. But I was already in the process. I have 3 out of the 4 wired up now, so I might as well just finish. But yeah guys, so I'm gonna finish this on the other side, basically clean it all up, and I will show you the end result. Now this rear is done and now this front is done. So basically just mimic that on the other side. Try and hide the wires as best you can, and that's basically how you install rock lights. First thing you want to do, and I made the mistake of this just because I was nervous about the wires reaching in the first place, so that was on top of my mind. But first thing you want to do is connect your positive and negative, because before you start drilling any holes or doing anything to your truck, make sure the rock lights work in the first place. That was my mistake. Like I said, I laid it out and I was like, wow, it doesn't look like it's going to fit. So in my mind, my first objective was get the rock light into either the front or the rear and stretch it and see if it'll reach, and it didn't. So then we had to improvise and do what we did. But that's it for the video, guys. So if you liked the video, go ahead and like it. I'm sorry it's a little, I'm sure people will haze me or say whatever because it's kind of rigged, but it is what it is. The company doesn't supply long enough cords, so I paid for them. I'm gonna make them work, and we did. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, peace.